Hi everyone, I'm Margaret. We're here at the AILA conference. This is day 2, and today we're going to be listing out the top 7 reasons why cases can potentially get denied. And then Joseph will also be explaining some of the ways that you can overcome these mistakes.
These are the most commonly seen mistakes. Doesn't matter if it's family immigration, business immigration, or if it's deportation, asylum cases. These are all things that pertain to the practice of immigration law, and we see these all the time. So we want to just share these with you.
The first one is sending the case to the wrong address. There's so many different addresses based on where you live, based on the type of case. So this is a very simple mistake that happens very often.
And not only do you need to find out the right address to send it, how you send it also matters. For example, you have to know FedEx does not deliver to PO boxes. So sometimes if it's very urgent and clients like, we want to pay for overnight shipping directly there and super safe. So you do FedEx, but you never use FedEx and you realize you put the wrong address because you always send it to a PO box and you didn't think about it. Now it's shipped to a PO box, but FedEx doesn't deliver there, and now your case gets returned to you. And you sometimes don't know it's returned to you until weeks, sometimes months later.
The second biggest mistake is sending the wrong fees. Sometimes within one case, there's multiple checks that have to be sent out. For example, for a family-based case, there's a medical exam. Sometimes there's fingerprint fees. So you have to make sure that you calculate and that you're checking the USCIS website. And there's also a difference in fees if you're going to mail the case or if you're going to file online. So a lot of things to look out for.
We've seen cases where you overpay, they still deny the case because they needed to be exact. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the first people who see your case is not USCIS, is not the government, is a contractor that they hire out. So they have to accept the case exactly perfect before it goes into the system.
The third biggest mistake is sending in the wrong edition of the form. These forms are constantly changing, so you really need to triple check the USCIS website and making sure you're looking at all of the forms and checking all of the editions.
Some cases take years to prepare, or like 6-7 months, but it just so happens that during that time, when you signed with a law firm and they started to work on your case, they already filled out the form, but because your case was delayed for so long, and then finally when it gets mailed out, in the middle, USCIS updated the form, and now you use the wrong form in the wrong file, and your case gets denied.
The fourth biggest mistake is having typos or missing signatures. And sometimes within one form, you need 3 different signatures. You need the petitioner, the beneficiary. Sometimes there's an interpreter and there's a preparer. So you have to triple check that all signatures are there.
So you need to be very careful that all the forms are signed. If you're doing a 45 adjustment of status to a green card, 45, 765, I-131, there's so many forms to fill out, G28, right? And if there's a missing signature, God forbid there's one missing signature, the entire case can be denied. And not just the form signature, if you use the wrong ink. We have seen cases denied because it was signed in blue ink.
The sixth biggest mistake, and this is a big one, is not checking the Visa Bulletin and not filing your case at the right time.
A lot of times you might look at Schedule A, Schedule B, and you think, oh, it's current, I can file. But if you only stop your analysis there, you didn't quite go far enough. Just because the Visa Bulletin is current doesn't mean USCIS is accepting it. So you have to be super careful when you're checking these priority dates. When can you file? When can you not?
The last biggest mistake is missing deadlines. So again, every case sometimes has a different deadline. If it's an RFE, if it's a motion to reopen, there's so many different deadlines to look out for. So just giving yourself enough time to properly prepare is pretty important.
So if you see, oh, RFE deadline, oh, I could get it by April 1st, but you give everything to your attorney, end of March, and they don't put it in the mailbox until April 1st, sorry, your case is probably going to get denied. Hopefully USCIS has clemency and, still accepts it, but maybe they won't. There's so many deadlines that you need to be mindful of. If you file too soon, your case could be denied. If you file too late, your case could definitely get denied.
Okay, so even if you're the perfect law firm and you try to do everything right, we also understand that mistakes do happen. So can you go over some of the strategies or some of the things that people can do if they happen to make one of these 7 mistakes or something different?
First thing is, you need to have malpractice insurance, right? If you're the law firm that made the mistakes, having malpractice insurance lets you sleep better at night. If you are the client, you want to make sure your law firm has malpractice insurance, because most of these, right, filing the wrong time, right, too soon or too late, the signature problem, mailing to the wrong address, paying the wrong fee, most of these can legitimately be said is the lawyer's fault. The second thing is, if the lawyer made a mistake and now the client is suffering huge repercussions, you can do a matter lazetta filing to basically show USCIS, hey, I didn't make the mistake, it was my attorney, they made the mistakes, please do not punish me for their simple typographical error mistake.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you gained some valuable information, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.